The recent NSAS crisis is an indication of the deplorable state of infrastructure across Lagos. The Lagos State government is listening to the cries of its people and is ensuring many places that have not been maintained or rehabilitated in recent times are getting the attention in this moment. Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of This is Lagos. One of the places in need of attention is the Lagos Island, particularly Messey Children's Hospital. The Lagos State government has visited the area to ensure that the hospital gets the required faces it deserves after being in existence for several decades, and of course, new infrastructure to ensure that there is enough connectivity across the local government. Messey Children's Hospital is an iconic structure within Lagos where several figures in society today were born or had patronized in their early years. The site has, however, been degraded over time, necessitating a new phase as the state governor intends to increase its capacity while moving it to a new site.
This government is driven by the desire to build a formidable and an equitable state with productive and healthy citizens. As a responsive government, we are determined that the inadequacy of the current Messey Children's Hospital to continue to meet the needs of a mega city with over 22 million population is certainly not acceptable. As a result of the steady and increasing number of patients, especially pediatrics, who daily throng this hospital to access medical facilities, the capacity of this hospital has been overstretched and we must urgently upgrade and provide quality service to the needy patients. Guided by the second pillar under the team's agenda, this agenda encompasses health and environment. We're rebuilding and remodelizing and repositioning the Messey Children's Hospital into a 7-story, 150-bed, ultra-modern, fit-for-purpose pediatrics program and emergency general hospital. You can see the edifice that is coming right behind us here. On completion, this hospital will provide a secondary integrated care service and an acute care to both inpatient and outpatient in line with international best practices.
This building is going to be responsible for the welfare of the children of Lagos as we move forward, as the old Messey Street has done. This one will take over from that and to ensure that the youth of Lagos State have a specialist facility where we can train doctors, where we can treat every discipline of disease that can affect our children to make sure that we have healthy young children that will contribute to the economy of Lagos State.
The governor is also flagging off new road projects around Adeniji-Adele on Lagos Island, promising to ensure access to such health facilities are not hindered.
Lagos Island could be modestly referenced as one of the largest commercial corridors in the state. There is therefore a corresponding commercial increase in commuting, especially high-volume human and vehicular traffic, including commercial activities, culminating in traffic gridlock and pressure on the roadway, with attendant damages to the drainage system. It's therefore not difficult to imagine why we have what we have now with infrastructural decay that has taken place over time.
Part of the infrastructure that will come to this neighborhood is also an extensive medical park that we're considering. And there are other developments. There's a small IPP that we're also putting here. There's also a treatment plant that will also bring in. So this whole area will be completely regenerated, right? That will complement the hospital and the roads that we're doing. I want to use this opportunity to once again to thank the good people of Lagos State for believing in us, for encouraging us with their unwavering support. We are at the center of excellence and will continue to leverage our experience. We'll continue to harness our resources. We'll continue to maximize the opportunity. We'll continue to optimize human and capital resources. And we'll continue to expand productive partnership to build and to develop our state.
Community leaders demand more infrastructure for the local government in order to see its economic activity resurge.
I wrote a letter to the governor yesterday pointing out certain things to him. That in putting this identity at the level back to what it should be, the governor and the SA, one should not lose sight of a small site coming from Enowa. They call it Ijokoagba. I request, and I will say it openly again, that the Ministry of Works, with the approval of the governor, should discuss with Julius Berger. Let them move that thing to the front of Adeniji Adele Health Center. Furthermore, the governor should consider putting back the old Odoanagbafo and a small recreation site there under lock and key to be put under the council only to be used on payment, because our people, they will turn it to party something which is not the purpose intended for. I thank the vision of Mr. Governor to put this road back.
There will also be a new oxygen plant in Bagada in Lagos and a doctor's quarters, assuring to put their welfare in perspective. The Ministry of Environment and Water Resources has its hands filled with recent erosions influenced majorly by indiscriminate refuse dump. The commissioner, while addressing journalists, says a lot of work has to be done to address the issues, including enlightenment.
The period has also seen the acquisition of about 210 new contractors by the PSP operators themselves, who have also employed about 8,200 people. There's also a potential of 6,000 new jobs to recycle as well, but currently averaging about 4,000. Other categories of people offered job opportunities are 300 marine waste employees, 14,010 street sweepers across the state, and another 3,500 under the highway managers. There are about 1,000 of these people all over the place. Most of them, they are doing the work that the local government should be doing. You see them sometimes on tertiary drains. Tertiary drains are responsibilities of local government. And when we talk of tertiary drains, these are the drains in front of your houses. And so sometimes we send them to go and clean some of these tertiary drains because of the problems they are creating for the secondary and primary channels. If we can start recycling from these places and move to markets and so on before we start, it's not something that we can easily start together across the state. We have to let us get it right at the organized estates across the state and so on. And we have started the process already so that we have start waste separation in those states, so that you separate your plastics, your leaf and your general waste in different plastics, so that if you go to a particular house in an estate, you might have about 3 dustbins as well. One separately for plastics, one separately for leaves. You know, this can be recycled and be taken, can be converted to other uses as well. And then the general waste that we can put in the dump sites and so on. We are already working with several estates across Lagos now, before we start expanding it across the state to low-income areas, Agege, Mushin, and several other places. At the last count, the total stock in terms of juice planted in Lagos rose to about 7 million. We estimated that about 10 million will be planted by 2020. But due to the last setback, I said that we recorded and so on, only 7 million have been planted, and we hope that in the next 1 to 2 years and so on, that 10 million trees will be accomplished. Last park also propagated thousands of flowering house plants, foliage, and tree seedlings for sale and community tree planting. And I can tell you that last park is also part-time with a lot of private sector. If you go to Freedom Way now, you see a lot of people are setting up. They are setting up parks and garden, private parks and garden, where people go to buy plants and seedlings for their parks and garden and so on.
The recent World Water Day was a clear insight into the deficit in the state. Mr. Tunji Bello, Commissioner for Water Resources and Environment, revealed the challenges causing a decline in water delivery and plans to change the narrative.
We have a lot of new water works across the state. And then don't forget that we have the issue of power, electric power. It's It's a major problem for the water corporation in Lagos State. So that's why many people are not getting water in their homes now, because either there's most of the generators, most of the time, the water corporation has to rely on generators across all over the place to pump water to several hours. I can tell you that the water corporation is already undergoing a lot of restructuring process. And part of the thing is also to empower those who are doing distributing the water.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Waterfront Infrastructure Development has also reviewed its contribution to reducing flooding and degradation on the waterways.
And as part of such continued efforts to free the waterways, those wreckages and debris, and also prevent erosion and degradation of the shoreline, the state government removed 4 number of such abandoned ships and debris and many other unwanted objects on the waterways. The ministry is presently channelizing the unlisted ferry routes, and they are already at advanced stages. Part of the ministry mandate is the provision of navigable ferry routes in the Lagos water for smooth sailing of bigger boats under the Lagos ferry service. And as well, other ferry operators can also fly the routes. Hence the need for channelization of all identified ferry routes in the state to improve water transportation. In this regard, the ministry is presently channelizing the unlisted ferry routes, and they are already at advanced stages of completion. The channelization, which involves dredging of ferry routes, creating a path 40 meters wide with a depth of 4 meters minimum to accommodate bigger boats movement, as follows. Channelization of 4-kilometer ferry route from Mile 2 to Marina is 100% completed and has immediately been put to use.
The ministries are aware of the roles they will play if the state is to become attractive to tourism. A special delegation from the United Kingdom visited the governor of Lagos State. The UK's Minister for Africa, who led the team, bask in excitement in visiting the Centre of Excellence.
Lagos is a wonderful place. It's an inspiration, an economy the size much larger, in fact, than many other countries in the continent. A state which has strong relationships with the UK culturally and in terms of business, and a large diaspora. So I've really enjoyed my time here in Lagos, and in particular speaking to the governor, who I've spoken to a number of times.
The Prime Minister's envoy for trade in Nigeria is looking forward to more collaboration to increase the potential for both Nigeria and the UK.
I think this is a really exciting time for Nigeria-UK relations. Our Prime Minister very much wants for the UK to be Africa's partner of choice, Nigeria's partner of choice, and I'm in absolutely no doubt that a strong and growing UK partnered with a strong and growing Nigeria.
The Lagos State government is confident in reducing the dependence on physical education at all levels when the fiber optic connectivity becomes activated. The state's Ministry of Science and Technology says lecture rooms will become decongested when distance learning becomes readily available, with similar benefits set to be seen in the health sector. The Special Advisor to the Governor on Innovation and Technology, Tokunbo Alake, says 3,000 of optic fiber connectivity has been completed, with 3,000 more to be done in the next phase.
Every research paper suggests that the higher you take tele-density, or a point increase in connectivity, also corresponds to a point increase in GDP for those that can't make it to schools or to physical buildings digital learning becomes a reality, and therefore we can leapfrog a lot of the challenges that we have. Telehealth becomes a reality. Physicians can see people remotely. They can diagnose issues remotely, and hospitals, with the robust connection that they would have, will be able to become more efficient in their operation. We are also expecting that there will be a spike in e-commerce activities across Lagos. One of the biggest complaints has been the availability of connectivity for people to be able to do business. So with this tele-density that is increasing, we expect that economic activity would also increase. We are continually engaging to redesign our master plan to fit current realities. And so our Art of Technology event and the platform remains a very bona fide engagement point with the private sector.
The Commissioner for Science and Technology, Hakeem Pham, says there is a drive to further improve the payment systems and budget information available for all ministries in order to rid the state of corrupt practices.
We are working on the upgrade of our enterprise resource planning, and part of that is to do a business process re-engineering. We make sure we do a lot of capturing of activities online so that we'll expand the process whereby people can pay at the convenience of their office, their homes, and just about anywhere, and supporting documents can be scanned and be accepted subject to verification before further processing.
The Ministry of Science and Technology says the state's proactiveness in its digital drive laid the groundwork for a smooth transition of operations during the peak of the COVID-19 lockdown.
The government committed a huge amount to make sure that the campus infrastructure is at the cutting edge of technology. We installed network switches, cabling, provided additional power, and at the same time, we are providing wireless access to all the buildings within Alausa campus.
The ministry, which also oversees the Lagos State Residential Identity, says there is a lot to benefit from the state identity process, nicknamed LASRA.
Some of the benefits of registering with LASRA. So what one of the outcomes of your registration with the Lagos State Residence Registration Agency is that you're provided with a unique identification number, which is known as your Lagos State ID. So that Lagos State ID is your unique number for every resident in Lagos State, or anybody that plans to be in Lagos State for 3 months and beyond. And the benefits from there, because you're issued with a smart card. So this smart card comes with an account, a bank account. So with that bank account, there's financial inclusion for every citizen or every resident of Lagos State. Then we're offering loyalty schemes as well for people that are registered with the state, for ease of access to different of our provisions, like any of the government welfare programs or social schemes. You can access them easier with your card.
The Ramadan period sees all devoted Muslims converge for prayers periodically during the holy month. With the Speaker of the National and State House of Assembly, Governor and other dignitaries present, the preachers wasted no time raising the issues that are in need of urgent attention within the state and nation at large.
But we are unsafe. Everywhere is not safe. In our homes, we are not safe. On the streets, we are not safe. Nowhere is safe. Today, from 9 p.m., you no longer can move. Some people will even start closing their gate from around 8:30. By 10, you can no longer move. This is a time that not only talk is required, action is required.
The governor identifies with the challenges, promising to address them. He says plans to rid the state of commercial motorcycle riders will become feasible when alternatives begin operations.
We will stop at nothing at ensuring that the real dividends of democracy is second to none. We will give it our very best shot because, like Ashwaju said, we sought for this job and you've given us the opportunity. We do not take it for granted. We know how important it is and we will not let you down.
The national leader of the All Progressives Congress and former governor of Lagos State, Bola Tinubu, cautioned those fanning the flames of war to remember the effects of a civil war may last centuries.
No leader of any nation nor any community we want its own people slaughtered, kidnapped, or killed. So you cannot put it on the head of one man. This situation has its historical perspective. We know when it started, but we don't want to give excuses. This government will perform, Nigeria will feel safe and be happy.
The former governor of Lagos urged all agitators to remain civil and take a lesson from Iraq, Sudan, and other nations that have undergone such threatening path of internal war. Wilson Omoni, Silverbird News 24, Lagos. With the heavy vehicular movement within the states during the week, there is no gainsaying that Lagos is the economic nerve center of the nation. Now, where there's economics, there are workers keeping the engine wheels rolling. What else to celebrate Labor Day than here in Lagos? Now, the relevant unions and the Lagos state government used May 1st, World Labor Day, to celebrate the successes in the workers' welfare and raise issues in need of attention. As the world celebrates Labor Day, it is time for unions and representatives of the general workforce to drum home issues of urgent importance. At the Lagos State celebration of Mayday, the unions are appreciative of the efforts from the state government to catering for the welfare of its workforce, while appealing for a focus on the benefits and emoluments of workers at all levels.
We thank Mr. Governor for encouraging other employers of labor throughout the pandemic by keeping the workforce in their numbers without disengaging anybody, while also calling for more awareness of the rights of workers by union leaders and the need for social dialogue by critical stakeholders. The government also must, as a matter of urgency, look for ways to strengthen the social security system so that workers can be adequately protected at all times.
Because of this pandemic COVID-19, we know that some of the nurses and midwives, probably some of them have taken the flight. We need to replace. We also need to put more nurses and midwives.
Government ensured that the salaries and allowances of workers was prioritized, while no remittances to MDAs were made as and when due. Another significant milestone in the Lagos State Public Service is the launch of the Lagos State Learning Management System, LMS, an online digital training platform that has been designed to improve the knowledge, skills, and competencies of public servants.
The state governor, while alluding to the support and conduct of the unions in the state, made pledges to accede to some of their demands.
Today, we commemorate not just Workers' Day, but also our triumph of our human well-being and our dedication to ensure that we overcome this pandemic for once permanently. We are not out of the woods yet, but we have made tremendous progress. But we deserve to congratulate ourselves and to say that the great health workers who we celebrated last year, the great frontline workers who we celebrated last year, we will continue to celebrate them because indeed they had worked tirelessly to render and to make sure that all of us are safe, our life and our well-being. And I think all the health workers, all the frontline workers, again, deserves a round of applause. We also want to commend members of JUSON They have shown that with collaboration, there is nothing we cannot do. The autonomy in the judiciary is critical for us, and we've explained and we've said it all of the times, that we have complied significantly with the autonomy of the judiciary. And that's why JUSON in Lagos State had said that they are calling off the strike, but because they are a movement, they will continue to do 1 day or 2 days solidarity with their national body on a going basis. So the JUSON in Lagos have worked with us, and they've seen that Lagos State is in compliance with judicial autonomy as enshrined in the Constitution. They have asked us to provide for them housing estates, land, so that they can go and raise funding for housing estate. I have the document here today. I am handing over 5 hectares in Idera and 5 hectares in Badagry for the labor today. By the grace of God, by the time we are celebrating May 1st next year, we would have been handing over the key to befitting headquarters for the NLC and the TUC.
The governor goes on to commission a new meeting quarters for senior civil servants, urging labor unions to continue to champion the needs of workers at all levels. With many unions still going on strike across the nation, there are definitely issues for the labor unions to solve and the federal government as well as state government to resolve as time progresses. One of such is the recruitment of more nurses to help cater for the medical emergencies that arise in the state, pending what happened from the COVID-19 pandemic. That completes our episode for this week. Until next time, I'm Wilson Amoni, and this is Lagos.